Hi, show of hands out there or a nod of the head if you have ever been guilty of sending an email that you probably should not have sent, or perhaps speaking up before you thought through what you were going to say and speak with intention. I think if we're all being honest with ourselves, you would agree that we should all probably raise our hands, nod our heads, maybe both, like I should. I know I'm guilty myself. As we continue on this learning journey for emotional intelligence, what I want to talk to you about today is the area of emotional intelligence known as self-regulation or self-management. And this area is important because it takes us from reacting to a situation to being thoughtful and responding to a situation. So just think about those two words. Am I going to react or am I going to respond? So if you think about responding, there's a different process that happens in your brain where you recognize what you're experiencing. That's that self-awareness that we talked about before. And then you start to manage that. That's self-management. It's the big giant pause button in your brain. And there's 3 questions that can help you with your self-management. And those 3 questions are, what could or should I do about this, what I'm experiencing? And why should or shouldn't I do something about this? Because ultimately, we might decide not to do or say anything because it might sink a relationship that we don't want to sink. And then lastly, how can I express what I am feeling or experiencing? So as we talk about self-management, another great question and a really simple question that perhaps can resonate with more of you is, am I emotionally sober enough to have this conversation or to reply back to this email? So think of it that way because that's a super simple way. Am I emotionally sober enough to do this? When we talk about managing our behavior, there are some tips that I have for you. And the first tip is just breathe. Take a breath. Think through this a little bit more. You can go for a walk. You might be into meditation. Meditate on it, for a quick 5 minutes. Take a walk around your backyard and, outside of your office space, whatever it is, just take a moment to create space. Space may also be sleep for you too, so sleep on it, because I know personally, sometimes when I sleep on things, the next morning I wake up and I just think to myself, gosh, I can't believe I was spending so much time worrying about this. It was much clearer to me in the morning when I woke up. And then lastly too, and I mentioned this when we talked about self-awareness in the last video, talk to that trusted person. It is okay for you to take and acknowledge what you're feeling and run it by somebody else who you trust and who you feel has good character. And maybe they'll see things different or they'll bring things to light that you haven't considered. So self-management. Am I emotionally sober enough to have this conversation, to send this email, whatever it might be? I look forward to our next video where I will be talking about social awareness. So we're going to be switching gears from self and understanding what we're experiencing and what we're feeling to other people and how we are then projecting that onto other people. And we're reading the room a little bit more so we can better adapt and adjust our response. As always, I welcome your questions. I welcome your comments, and you can email me at kelly@kellyfrager.com. Thank you.